The way young people are making friends around the world is changing. An Australian survey asked teens to focus on all the ways in which they spend time and interact both digitally and in person with the friend who is closest to them. Many teens say they hang out with their closest friends in online settings, such as social media sites or through gaming websites. Many companies are using the skills shortage argument. However, in reality, they should spend more time and effort recruiting or luring graduates with better salaries. Some companies are ahead of the game by offering more apprenticeships to get staff up to a suitable standard. To some people, technology is controlling their lives. However, it is a mixture of positive and negative effects because technology like smartphones has brought enormous improvements. Take, for example, the impact of technology on communication. Smartphones have revolutionized the way items such as personal and commercial messages are sent with the electronic transmission of messages. Many people think that mediums like TV and newspapers focus too much on bad news. They think that this is a trying issue for society to consider because it can lead to many other serious problems such as bad behavior. By watching graphic images of such details on TV, people become hardened and then find it difficult to distinguish between right and wrong. In the future, cars will automatically judge your driving and make some autonomous decisions. If the car decides you are angry and in danger unsafely, it might adapt itself to make things safer. On the same grounds, a shop might use this technology to work out when customers are more likely to buy things, including things they probably don't really need. Most Australian cities over the years have actively contributed to making their residents less physically active, as there is now less need for the public to walk anywhere. Yet, the health and economic benefits gained from the financial investment are clear for everyone to see. Geological and historical records are used to establish the nature of past coastal changes. Monitoring of coastal change is also undertaken using a broad range of techniques including laser technology and digital aerial photography. These techniques are used to determine coastal topography, coastal erosion, and shoreline positions with high accuracy. With three-dimensional and digital maps, modern cartographers have sophisticated digital tools at their disposal to make sense, shape, and refine our place in the world and to guide us. With the primary function of creating maps, as in the past, cartography as a science is still having a huge impact on human progress. At primary school, the curriculum is constantly changing to keep pace with the modern world. While it is argued software programming should now be part of the curriculum, others feel that the focus should be on numeral studies. Some others believe that children need to play more at this stage rather than being bombarded by more technology. The first groups of people to discover New Zealand arrived from Polynesia. Exactly when these explorers arrived has often been a matter of debate, but today the general understanding is that it was during the 13th century that their canoes eventually landed on New Zealand's shores. In some ways, the new country must have seemed like an ideal place to settle. Public demand for education has remained strong. reflecting the importance of education as a means of social progress. Aware of the social value of education to the world of the work, the government continues to innovate and update the education system in order to produce a qualified and competent workforce. The preparation of abstracts is an intellectual effort, requiring general familiarity with the subject. To bring out the salient points of an author's argument calls for skills and experience. Consequently, a considerable amount of qualified manpower that could be used to advantage in other ways must be diverted to the task of facilitating access to information. Australia has one of the world's most important mining industries. It is a major exporter of coal, iron ore, gold, and copper and is self-sufficient in all minerals bar petroleum. Since the first discoveries, the coal in 1798, mineral production has risen every year. In the decade to 1992 it doubled. Certainly, one of the important values of literature is that it nourishes our emotional lives. An effective literary work may seem to speak directly to us, especially if we are ripe for it. The inner life that good writers reveal in their characters often gives us glimpses of some portion of ourselves. As long as there have been farmers, they have saved the seeds from the current year's crop so that it can be planted the next year. In fact, saving seeds is one of the oldest activities continuously performed by humans. Organized farming began during the Neolithic Revolution, the time about 12,000 years ago when humans began to organize permanent settlements. There is an uncertainty in using petroleum as a future resource, despite focusing on the major benefit of a very advanced infrastructure already in place. The drawbacks from the perspective of the environment are patently obvious: harm to public health by emissions in exhaust fumes. Carbon emissions are linked to respiratory problems, and cost precious ecosystems from oil spills and seepage. You are the student representative at the University Union. The union has been asked to get the views of other students at the college on the current university course structure. You have been asked to write a report for the dean, outlining the benefits and drawbacks of proposed changes. Make sure to add the remarks from the faculty members as well while completing your report. Many papers you write in college will require you to include quotes from one or more sources. Even if you don't have to do it, integrating a few quotes into your writing can add life and persuasiveness to your arguments. The key is to use quotes to support a point you are trying to make rather than just include them to fill space. Global warming is defined as an increase in the average temperature of the Earth's atmosphere. This trend began in the middle of the 20th century and is one of the major environmental concerns of scientists and governmental officials worldwide. As far as politics go, the responses are just as varied. Mitigation is common and calls for a reduction of emissions and less reliance on fossil fuels. Coal-burning power plants are now replaced with hydraulic power plants and electrical cars are replacing some gasoline-efficient cars. Many people, however, feel that this is not enough,